Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Can you use these 20 expressions to talk about the seasons? Spring, summer, fall, winter? Join me in each season. Yes, this video took 1 year to make, and expand your vocabulary. Like always, I've created a free PDF worksheet for you with all of today's seasonal expressions, definitions, sample sentences, and at the bottom of the worksheet you can answer Vanessa's challenge question. Click on the link in the description to download the free PDF worksheet today. Let's get started with vocabulary from spring. Expression number 1 about springtime. Spring has sprung. The word spring has 2 different meanings. The first one is the season. This is springtime. You can see the flowers behind me. But also, spring is a verb, to spring. To spring means to jump. So we might say the change from winter to spring is pretty shocking sometimes. It's cold, it might be a little bit dark, and then all of a sudden, the sky's blue, flowers are blooming, spring has sprung. So this is the past tense of the word to spring, of this verb. So when spring happens, you can say, spring has finally sprung. What a beautiful time of the year. Spring expression number 2 is not a cloud in the sky. This is talking about the beautiful weather of spring. Yes, there is a lot of rain, which we'll talk about in just a minute, but if you open the window and you look outside and there are no clouds, you could say, what a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. Lovely. Well, let's imagine that it is raining. Because it rains a lot in the springtime, you might need to cancel or change your plans based on the weather. So if it's raining, you might need to change your plans. We can use this as an idiom no matter the weather. You could say, I'm sorry, I need to take a rain check. I got really sick and I just can't come to the dinner party tonight. It doesn't mean that it's actually raining outside. It just means that you want to reschedule or delay something because something happened. You got sick and you don't want to go to the dinner party when you're sick. So you might tell your friend, can I take a rain check? Maybe we could do this dinner party in 2 weeks when I'm feeling better. What a lovely expression. Let's take a rain check. Spring expression number 4 is a fun one. Let me show you this flower. Well, it's not exactly a flower yet, but it will become a flower. Well, what if I do this? Will this ever become a flower? Nope, I just killed it. It's gone. So we could say, I broke off or I took off that bud. That is the little piece of the flower that hasn't opened yet. We can use this to talk about behavior as well. We call that nipping it in the bud. When you nip something in the bud, it means you stop something bad before it becomes worse. Obviously, a flower is not bad, but that's just the imagery that we use. So let's imagine that your son lies to you. Well, you certainly don't want him to lie to you continually, so you need to nip that behavior in the bud. You need to nip it in the bud. You might tell him, hey, you know what you just did is lying and that's not something good. I'd rather you tell me the truth. You are nipping that behavior in the bud. You're stopping it before it becomes something worse. Unfortunately, it's just a beautiful flower. All right, let's go to our 5th spring expression. Our final spring expression is to be a fair weather friend. If I said, you're a fair weather friend, would that be something positive or negative? It would be definitely negative. You do not want to be a fair weather friend. Let's break this expression down. What is fair weather? Well, fair is good. Springtime has a lot of great weather. A lot of people think that spring is their favorite season because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, the flowers are blooming. It's just so nice. So, if you are a fair weather friend, what do you think happens when there's bad weather? Or we can take this a little more figuratively, when bad things happen in life. That means you're not a good friend. When something bad happens, You just abandon your friend, you're not helpful to that friend because you are only a fair weather friend. So please don't be a fair weather friend. Instead, we could say, stick with your friends through thick and thin. This is a wonderful thing to be. It means you're loyal, you care about your friends, and no matter what happens, you'll be there for them. So I hope that this is true for you. I hope that you stick with your friends and family through thick and thin. All right, let's go on to our 5 summer expressions. But right now it is springtime for me, so I will see you in a couple months when I can record the summer expressions in the summertime. Welcome to summer. During the summer, we love to go swimming to cool off. So here are 5 common, useful daily life expressions for the summertime. The first expression is actually kind of a special deal, 4 for 1. It's how to talk about how hot it is. First, you can say, it's boiling, it's blistering. Sometimes we say, it's blistering hot, or it's a scorcher, or it's a hot one. All of these are beautiful expressions that you will hear in daily life to talk about the summertime heat. Summer expression number 2 is a heat wave. Yes, there are beautiful waves on the beach, but this is not a beautiful wave like that. This means there's some unseasonably hot weather. Summer's already hot, but when you have even hotter weather, you can say, here in the south of the US, we are experiencing a heat wave, and it is blistering hot. To go on vacation. I cannot wait to finally go on vacation and take some great time to relax. A similar expression that goes with that is to be off on vacation. So you might say, I'm not going to work on any new projects because next week I'm off on vacation. You're not going to be in the office. You're going to be enjoying the sun. Hopefully it's not boiling hot and you will be off on vacation. To head to the beach. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going to head straight to the beach. Maybe it's the beach with the ocean, or maybe it's a beach by a creek or a lake. To chill out. Because summer is so hot, doesn't it feel great to just chill out? You could say, this summer I have no plans. I'm just gonna chill out by the pool and catch up on some reading. This is gonna be so relaxing. All right, I'll see you in a couple months in fall. Welcome to fall. This is a beautiful season here where I live in the south of the US. You can see the beautiful red maple trees behind me. We're going to talk about 5 expressions about fall, but there's kind of a bonus because it's really 10 expressions. The first 5 are ways to describe this beautiful weather. The weather is brisk. Ooh, it's pretty brisk here in the mornings. I think fall is on the way. Brisk means chilly or cool. And when the weather is brisk, what do you want to do? You want to get cozy. I just love to get cozy, sit under a blanket, and read a good book in the fall. Similar to brisk is crisp. Usually we talk about the word crisp to talk about something that's crunchy, but instead we can use it to talk about the cool weather. Ooh, I just love those crisp mornings where I can sit on my deck and drink a hot cup of tea. Oftentimes in the fall, it's blustery. Blustery is a fun way to say windy, extremely windy. Here when it's blustery, all the leaves blow around and it's so beautiful. Talking about leaves, when you walk in the leaves, you can hear the rustling of leaves. This is the sound when you hear the crunch, crunch, crunch of leaves as you walk, or maybe as they fall from the trees. This sound of rustling leaves is very typical in the fall. Fall expression number 2, kind of, is carving pumpkins. Have you ever done this before? This is a huge tradition in the US. Carving pumpkins has quickly become my son's favorite fall activity. We do it 2 or 3 times each fall because it's just so much fun. Take a look at this fun fall phrasal verb, to squirrel away something. Here in the US, there are so many squirrels. And right now in the fall, squirrels are everywhere. They're extremely active because what are they doing? They're hiding acorns and other nuts so that they can eat during the winter. We call this squirreling away. And even if you're not a squirrel, you can squirrel away something by hiding it. Take a look at this. Guess what? I just found $20 in my coat pocket. I must have squirreled it away last winter and forgotten about it. What a surprise. In the US, picking apples is a common fall tradition. So check out this apple idiom. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. This is when a child is similar to their parent. So for me in the fall, I loved when my dad would rake up the leaves and put them at the bottom of the slide. And my sister and I whoosh, would slide down the slide and crash into the pile of leaves. And guess who likes to do this too? My kids. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They also love to crash into a pile of leaves at the bottom of the slide. Unfortunately, sometimes bad things also happen in the fall time. The weather gets cooler and our immune systems sometimes are not prepared and we get a cold. So it's really common to say, sorry, I'm under the weather. This doesn't mean that you are under the sky, even though we always are. This just means you're not feeling that great. It's not super serious, but maybe you have a sniffle, maybe you have a sore throat, you have a seasonal cold or allergies. You're just not feeling so hot. You're feeling under the weather. All right, I'll see you in a couple months in the winter. Welcome to winter. Let's talk about 5 expressions that have to do with the cold and winter. The first one is a rather strange one. It is the dead of winter. Let's imagine that you come up to me and say, Vanessa, do you want to go swimming? I might say, it's the dead of winter and you want to go swimming? Are you crazy? The dead of winter is the coldest part of winter. You definitely don't want to go swimming outside. I mean, I guess some people like to take an ice plunge, but for me, this is not the time when I want to go swimming. I don't want to swim in the dead of winter. Winter expression number 2 is the cold shoulder. Take a look at this sentence and guess what it means. When I tried to talk to my sister last night, she gave me the cold shoulder. I guess she's still upset about our fight. The cold shoulder is no fun, and it is when someone intentionally, which means on purpose, shows you unfriendliness. Usually they ignore you. Sometimes being ignored can hurt deeper than mean words. So my sister showed me the cold shoulder. That means she didn't talk to me because she was still upset about our fight. Winter expression number 3 is cabin fever. I have cabin fever. I've been inside for 2 weeks. Oh my goodness, this is a terrible feeling. It's when it's cold outside, or maybe you're sick, maybe there's a pandemic. There's a lot of reasons why you might be stuck inside. Maybe for a day or 2 it's okay, and then after that you start to go a little bit crazy. You start to feel anxious, maybe nervous, restless, maybe irritable and angry. That's because you have cabin fever. You need to get out, just bundle up, try to take a walk, brave the elements, try to get rid of cabin fever. Winter expression number 4 is a verb, to snowball. You might know what a snowball is. It's this. That's the noun. But we're talking about it as a verb. Take a look at this sentence. I went to the grocery store when I was hungry, so I bought a couple snacks. And then it snowballed and I ended up with a cart full of junk food. Not a good idea to go to the grocery store when you're hungry. So here we get the sense of it started small. I just got a couple snacks. And then by the time I left the grocery store, my cart was full of snacks. It snowballed. Here it's the idea of something starting small and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Usually it's something negative. Here I'm talking about junk food, so it's something negative, but let's look at another situation. Lies tend to snowball. They start off small, then they get bigger and more complex and sometimes more dangerous. So just don't start off by lying. And finally, winter expression number 5 is the tip of the iceberg. When someone asks what I do for work and I say that I'm an English teacher, really, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg refers to the small or maybe a visible part of something. If you know what a regular iceberg looks like, you can see the top, but under the water is the main part of the iceberg. So yes, I am an English teacher, that's what you see, but I am also a video maker, a marketer, an entrepreneur who wears many hats. Being an English teacher is just the tip of the iceberg. A little note that we often use the word just with this expression. Being an English teacher is just the tip of the iceberg. Thanks so much for joining me for this entire year. Don't forget to download the free PDF worksheet for today's lesson with all 20 of these expressions, the definitions, sample sentences, and Vanessa's challenge question at the bottom of the worksheet. Click on the link in the description to download that free PDF worksheet today. And now I have a question for you. What's your favorite season? Maybe the seasons are different in your country, but let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for learning English with me, and I'll see you again next Friday for a new lesson here on my YouTube channel. Bye! But wait, do you want more? I recommend watching this video next, where you will join me and my young son in the grocery store. You'll learn important vocabulary so that you can speak clearly and confidently in any situation. I'll see you there.